From the pages of Body Press, January 17, 1970, we are handed the black and white soul of Detroit wrestling, a program that was never meant to be slick or glossy, but instead to throb with the same intensity as the matches it promoted. The cover alone shouting in all caps, "Exciting action, exciting reading," while dangling promises of the latest threats to the U.S. heavyweight crown, and more action-packed photos. The Sheik's grim visage looming over it all like a curse, for this was his city, his territory, his domain, and the program made sure that before the fans even saw him light a fireball, they had already been reminded of his aura. The first major feature sinks its teeth into the tag team division, with a sprawling editorial war of words headlined "The Skull Bros, Champions versus Fabulous Kangaroos," a match that must be made somewhere, sometime. The Skull Brothers, sneering through their champion's prerogative, declare flatly that they will decide when and where to put their belts on the line. Skull Brother number 1 spits on George Crybaby Cannon, branding him a big Irish blob, and mocks the not-too-fabulous Kangaroos, Al Costello and Don Kent. The message is clear. The champs are arrogant, defiant, and willing to duck challengers to maintain control. Then the program pivots and visits the Kangaroos camp, giving fans both sides of the brewing feud, planting the seed that sooner or later, maybe not tonight, but eventually, the clash would be inevitable. Next, the spotlight slams onto Wilbur Snyder, former California All-American, his athletic background highlighted like a badge of honor. Snyder uses his column inches to call his shot, announcing that he wants Sputnik Monroe first, the Sheik next, and a chance to put the Weasel out of commission along the way. He hammers home that the Sheik, who has held the U.S. Championship over 5 years, is the most dangerous wrestler alive, but Snyder claims he came to Detroit precisely to challenge him in his own backyard, to wrest the crown from the most feared man in the game. It's a bold declaration, a babyface manifesto in print. But no sooner do we hear Snyder's clean-cut confidence than the magazine gives the floor to the Ragin' Cajun, Sputnik Monroe. In a first-person tirade titled with his boast, "With the body that women love and men fear," as told to Bob Manuel, Monroe paints himself as a diamond ring and Cadillac man, a slick-talking outlaw who wins because that's the only way to make money. He ridicules rednecks and muscleheads, warns them to stay clear, and insists he is highly scientific in the ring. The program lets his arrogance run unchecked, so that every Detroit fan who reads it will come primed to jeer him from the balcony down to ringside. From there, a shorter but pointed column makes a prediction for the new year, declaring that Ben Justice and the Stomper are the tag team to watch in 1970, a pairing that could very well upend the entire division. This feature, written by Conrad Hickenlooper III, serves as both foreshadowing and hype, a tease of what might be coming down the road. Beyond the features, Body Press carries the meat and potatoes of an arena program, the lineup for the evening at Cobo Arena. At the top of the card sits Bobo Brazil, the people's champion, Detroit's beloved cocoa butt artist, printed proudly as the central hero of the night. The program frames him as the eternal counterbalance to the Sheik, the one man who can withstand the fire, the blood, the biting and clawing, and still rise. Beneath him on the bill appear Flying Fred Curry, billed for his daredevil high-flying tactics, and Pampero Firpo, the wild man from the Pampas with his unmistakable cry. Villainous presences like Bulldog Brower and Killer Brooks are also slated, their names placed to stir up dread, the program reminding the crowd that the night will not just be about the marquee rivalry, but about a full slate of matches designed to give every fan their money's worth. The order of bouts is not spelled out in glossy detail, but the body of the program makes sure that by the time you arrive at the main event, The towering battle with Bobo Brazil as centerpiece. You know exactly who you are rooting for and who you are baying to see destroyed. Advertisements and local promotions dot the pages. Reminders that Detroit wrestling was not just about the Sheik and Brazil, but about the entire community. You see plugs for local businesses, eateries and shops, evidence that big-time wrestling was tied into the Motor City's economy. These pages gave the program a lived-in feel, something tangible and local that national magazines could never reproduce. By the time you close the program, you've not just read about matches, you've been fully immersed in the mythology. The Skull Brothers sneering at the Kangaroos, Wilbur Snyder drawing a line in the sand, Sputnik Monroe drowning in his own bravado. Predictions for Ben Justice and the Stomper, and finally the promise of Bobo Brazil, the man Detroit counted on, standing tall in the main event slot. Body Press is equal parts hype, souvenir, and serialized drama, a printed reflection of everything Detroit wrestling represented. Chaos under the Sheik's reign, loyalty to Brazil, and anticipation that tonight might be the night something historic happens at Cobo.